Oh, good Shabbos, everyone. Please take a seat. Make sure you have a prayer book.
Ashrei yoshvei vetecha, od yehalelu chasela. Ashrei yoshvei vetecha, od yehalelu chasela. Ashrei, ashrei, ashrei yoshvei vetecha. Ashrei, 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 yoshvei vetecha. Happy are those who dwell in your house. They will sing your praises forever. Happy are those who dwell in your house. They will sing your praises forever.
Good Shabbos, everyone. Wait a minute. Is there anyone here? Let's try it again. Good Shabbos, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
All right, you're here. All right. Well, I didn't get a chance to find out where they're from. Did you?
No.
All right. Count of three. Shout out what state you are from. 1, 2, 3.
Or country.
Well, that makes it totally clear
I
to
heard
me.
Canada.
All right. You heard Oh Canada. All right. Anyone else want to raise their
Chicago.
hand? Anyone from out of town? Where are you from?
Florida.
You came for the humidity, for the dry heat. Where are you from? New Jersey. Great. Anyone else? Which part?
Your home area.
Oakland. That's where I was born. Kaiser Hospital, right there. That's me. Yeah. Where are you from? Where? Illinois. Very good. Yes. Local. Local.usa.
Thank you for braving the rain, locals.
All right. Well, wherever you are from, we welcome you to Congregation or Tamid. I'm Rabbi Sanford Axelrod. This is Cantor Jessica Hutchings, and we are so glad that you are here. Out of curiosity, who here has never been to a Jewish service? Wow. I hope they're not on our board. That would be terrible. That would be terrible. All right. A lot of people raised their hands, so let me go ahead and explain a little bit about the service so that you might appreciate it. First of all, as you walked in, hopefully you received a prayer book. And if you didn't, this would be a great time to receive it. Some of you got an extra special treat of a piece of candy. Go ahead and just put that in your pocket. I'm going to explain the candy thing a little bit later, where we'll pass it out for everyone. But for now, just take that candy and put it in your pocket. The area right here where worship occurs is called the Bima. And behind me, this is our Aron HaKodesh, the Holy Ark. And every time the Ark curtains are open, that's a sign for the congregation to stand out of respect. Behind the Ark curtains are our Torah scrolls. And we're going to pause in the middle of the service, and I'm going to invite you to come up and see one of the scrolls. And I'll explain to you a little bit about the life cycle of a scroll, because our oldest scroll is about 300 years old. And our newest scroll is about, 4 months old now? About 4 months, and I'll tell you a little bit about that. Up here above is the Ner Tamid. That light is always on, and it's a reminder to the Jewish people that God is always with us. And up above here, you'll see a saying that the congregation chose: with my guidance, O house of Jacob, come, let us walk by the light of the Lord. So those are the basic elements, but as you hold the prayer book in your hand, you will also notice that it opens from right to left. You may think the technical term is backwards, but no. Hebrew is read from right to left, and that's why the prayer book opens that way. And you will see, well, my Hebrew isn't so good, but usually off to the side there'll be transliteration, and below it will be the translation. So we hope that you will participate to your ability, that you'll follow along but most of all, get a deep appreciation for the hard work that Mason has put into this to celebrate his bar mitzvah. And we are so, so proud of him. So I'm going to turn it over to the cantor. She's going to work on making you a Torah scholar. Are you guys ready? They seem a little insecure. You're going to have to
I'll
work
tell a
extra
joke.
hard.
I'm gonna tell a joke. It's a real true story joke. So it's
A real-
about the Torah, about
Wait a
the
minute.
very old
You're
Torah.
adding a joke to your repertoire?
Well, I'm working on becoming a rabbi. You have to tell
so
jokes.
you have to tell jokes as rabbis. That's
So
part
I
of
had
it.
the preschool in here on Friday, and they really wanted to see what was behind the curtain. So I showed them, and they asked about the small Torah, the baby Torah, which is our oldest one. And I said it's about 250 years old, 300 in rabbi numbers. And they said, "That's almost as old as you, Cantor." It was pretty funny in the moment. We had to be there though, but it was pretty funny because they have no idea what old is. So. Okay, so we're going to learn a melody so that we can sing together because this is a participatory service. So we want you to sing along. And you may be thinking, I don't know Hebrew, I don't know English, I don't know. So that's okay because music is our collective language that we can do. We can make sounds together that are beautiful and can connect us. So we have a special nigun that we're going to sing together. At the very end of the service, we're going to gather in a giant circle around the bima to welcome the new week with our Havdalah blessings. And those Havdalah blessings have their own melody. And so we're going to learn that melody so that you'll be ready for it. So the melody goes like this. Ya la ya la 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 ya la la ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la la ya la la. So I'd like you to try that with me. Ya la ya la 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 ya la la ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la la ya la la. All right, you almost got it. Let's try it one more time. Ya la ya la 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 ya la la ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la la ya la la. Very good. Now, every Jewish blessing is made up of some very specific words. They always begin with Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam. So during those blessings that we will do at the end of the service, there will be 4 of them, and they will all begin, Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam. So this is your Hebrew lesson. Let's repeat after me. Baruch Atah, your turn. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Melech HaOlam. Let's try the whole thing. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam. Pretty good. Now if you're like, I just can't get it. It's too much. I'm tongue-tied. That's okay. You just keep going. Ya la ya la 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 ya la la ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la la ya la la. So you can use anything you want. If you don't want to say any of the words, just ya la la along for any part of our service this afternoon. I think they're ready.
Think they're ready?
Yeah.
All right. All right, Mason, it is your turn. So as you look at my jacket, you'll see that there is a prayer shawl. This is actually an atara, but a prayer shawl is called a talit. And it harkens back to the time of the Bible when Jews wore tunic-like garments. And at the corner of the garments were fringes, tzitzit, reminder to do good and loving deeds that we call mitzvot. So Mason comes forward, and he's going to be presented by Marilyn and Joe Rosen, grandparents, with this very special, and his parents also want to share a few remarks to their son. Andy, Anushka. Is that mic on?
Test, test.
Okay, come in a little closer.
Mason, you have worked so hard for this day,
deserve to enjoy your accomplishments. It's rare for us to have a special occasion where we can celebrate how proud we are of you and how much we love you. The truth is we are proud of you not only today, but every day. I could list all the usual things that parents are proud of, such as good grades, your volunteer efforts, your athleticism, and so on, but what I'm most proud of is your heart. You are truly the kindest person I know. You care about others in a world where that is getting more and more scarce. You have incredible manners and respect for your elders. You give people grace and compassion. I know that no matter what you do in life, you will make it a better place. I could not have asked for a more perfect son to bless my life. And I could go on, but that would just make me start crying. So.
Mason, when Mom and I asked you if you wanted to be bar mitzvah, you simply said yes, I'm Jewish. Your willingness to take on this challenge and your ability to make it look easy have been impressive to say the least. For parents, feeling that your child will be able to handle all of life's challenges is a great feeling. If this is a sign of things to come, then we are confident that you will be just fine. We are so proud of you and the young man that you've become. Like Mom said, you are truly the kindest person that we know. You probably don't know this, but there's not a day that goes by that you don't teach me something. For example, just the other day, coming home from school, I said something derogatory about somebody driving pretty slow in front of us. You immediately looked at me and said, Dad, you don't know their circumstances. You haven't walked a day in their shoes. And I said, you know what, you're right. I also said, cut me some slack, I'm from Jersey. Finally today, as you become a bar mitzvah, you symbolically become a man. We wish you happiness, health, love, and shalom. This will definitely be a day that we can remember forever. We love you.
You wanted to say that? No. Or did you? Did you want to say something? Okay.
Thanks. Within the Jewish tradition, we have our 10 Commandments. And the one that I remember that you follow the most is honor your parents and love your parents. And we're very proud of you. And just remember, no matter how old you are, always respect your parents. Mazel tov.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu, lo yititev b'tzitzit. We read responsively on page 343. There are times when the love of God burns so powerfully within your heart that the words of prayer seem to rush forth quickly and without deliberation.
At such times it is not you yourself who speak, rather it is through you that the words are spoken.
Yitkadah Shmei Rabba Balma Divra Hirte Yamlik Mahute Bechayechon Uv Yomechon Uv Hayetiko Be'Yisrael Bagala Uvisman Karif Vimru, Amen. Yahei Shemei Rabba Mevarach Le'alam Ulam Me'almaya Yitbarach V'yitbarach V'yishtabach V'yitparar V'yitjomam V'yitnaseh V'yithadar V'yithaleh V'yithalal Shemei Dekusha Brihu Le'olam Kol Birchata V'shirata Tushbechata Unechemata Da'amiran B'alma Vimru. Amen. Please rise for the Amidah on page 344 through 350. Adonai Sifatai Tifcha Ufi Yagit Tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak v'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel v'Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora El Elyon Gomel Hasadim Tovim V'Konei HaKol V'Zocher Kasdei Avot V'Imahot U'Mehivi Gula Livnei Nehim L'man Shamo Ba'ava Melech Ozir U'Moshia U'Mogen Baruch atah Adonai Magen Avraham v'Isra Torah Adad Dibor Elam V'nai Mechaye Hakol Atarav Lahoshia Morid Hatao Mechalkei Hayim Behesed Mechaye Hakol Berahamim Rabim Zomed Noflim Verofei Cholim Umatir Asorim Umechayem Emunato Lishenei Afar Michamocha Baal Giverot Umidom Melech Melech Memi Chayem Matzmiach Yeshua Nemat Elata Lashal Yod Lako Baruch atah Adonai Mechaye Hakol.
Nekadesh מקדש את שמך בעולם, כשם שמקדישים אותו בשמי מרום, ככתוב היה נביאך, וקרא זה אל זה ואמר, קדוש, 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 אדוני צבאות, מלוך כל הארץ, כבודו, אדיר אדירנו, אדוני אדוננו, מדיר שמך בכל הארץ, ברוך כבוד אדוני ממקומו. אחד הוא אלוהינו, הוא אבינו, הוא מלכנו, הוא מושיענו והוא ישמיענו, ברחמיו לעיני כל חי. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, ימלוך אדוני לעולם, אלוהיך ציון, לדור ודור. Hallelujah.
To all generations we will declare your greatness, and for all eternity proclaim your holiness. Your praise, O God, shall never depart from our lips. Baruch atah Adonai ha'el hakadosh. Blessed are you, Adonai, the holy God.
Please turn back to page 250 in your Siddur for Yismechu.
So unless you are part of the B'nai Mitzvah class with Mason, I don't know why you're making that face, Sydney, you're next week. You should be seated unless you're part of that class. If you're part of that class, you should be up here for Yismechu. All right, page 250. So the reason we turn back is because even though we have this afternoon bar mitzvah and this particular prayer does not exist in this part of the service, it's too special that we would cut it from our liturgy for Mason. So the reason that his class is getting up here to lead us in a prayer is because there's a very special dance that they're very excited to do for you, and they want you to also do that dance for them, because as much as you enjoy watching them do it, they get a little kick out of you watching you do it. So this is how it goes. You guys ready? Yeah. Yismechu v'malechutecha, like jazz hands. Shomrei, 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 Shabbat, v'korei, oneg, Shabbat. Okay, so I saw like 4 of you out there doing it. So we're gonna try it one more time. We will look at you if you don't do it, okay? And if you do it, you'll feel better in 3 minutes than you do right now. That is my promise. Okay, here let's try it one more time. Yismechu v'malechutecha, shomrei, 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 Shabbat, v'korei, oneg, Shabbat. Perfect, you guys look awesome. You're gonna do that 8 more times. Here we go. Yismechu v'malechutecha, shomrei, 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 Shabbat, v'korei, oneg, Shabbat. Yismechu v'malechutecha, shomrei, 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 Shabbat, v'korei, oneg, Shabbat. Mekadashei Shevi Shabbat, kulam yismeu v'yitamgu Good job. It's so fun to watch emo preteens and teens do that dance. If your Apple Watch did not ask you if you were working out, you didn't do it right. So you can try again next week. All right, good. We're going to turn back to where we were.
We read together on the bottom of page 357.
Wait for them to turn there.
When we behold your heavens, the work of your fingers, the moon and stars that you set in place, what are we humans that you are mindful of us? We mortals that you take note of us. You make us little less than divine, adorned us with glory and majesty. You gave us dominion over your handiwork, laying the world at our feet. Adonai, our God, how majestic is your name throughout the earth.
Baruch atah Adonai, atov shimcha chana'el lehodot.
We continue in silent prayer.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki ata hu melech Adam lechol hashalom. Ki ata hu melech Adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. V'tov be'einecha levarech et amcha Yisrael bechol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam.
We turn in our Siddur to page 362 and prepare for our Torah service.
And when we will take out our Torah and we will present it to our bar mitzvah, and then there will be a little bit of a hakafot, a Torah procession. During that time, young ladies, that's when you'll pass out the candy. So what is it about the candy? It's not a mid-morning snack or an evening snack. It's supposed to represent sweetness. And so at a certain point in the service, when the bar mitzvah is all done with his major accomplishments, he's done his speech, he's read from the Torah, you'll get a signal that it is time to gently toss the candy in his direction, wishing him sweetness in life. Cantor's worked very hard to develop this. What's the signal? There you go. All right. So when she ducks, there you go. All right, so you'll have a clue. But until that time, we have, for the honors, we'd like to call upon Mason to come forward, stand by the art curtains. For the honor of opening the art curtains, we have Jeremy and Sammy come on up. Parents, please come on up at this time with the congregation. Please rise.
Ein kamocha v'Elohim Adonai, ve'ein kemasecha, malchutecha malchut kol amim, u'memshaltecha bechol dor v'dor. Adonai melech,
Please stand next to me.
Adonai melech,
Stand next to me.
Into our hands, O God, you have placed your Torah to be held high by parents and children and taught by one generation to the next. Whatever has befallen us, our people have remained steadfast in loyalty to the Torah. It was carried into exile in the arms of parents that their children might not be deprived of their birthright. And now I pray that you, Mason, will always be worthy of this inheritance. Take its teachings into your heart, and in turn, pass it on to your children and those who come after you. May you be a faithful Jew, searching for wisdom and truth, working for justice and peace. Thus will you be among those who labor to bring nearer the day when God shall be one and God's children shall be one.
Let us declare the greatness of God and render honor unto the Torah.
Gadlul Adonai iti, uneromema shemo yachtav. Lecha Adonai hagedola, ve'hagevura, ve'hatiferet, ve'hanetzach, ve'hahod. Ki chol b'shamayim u'va'aretz, ki chol b'shamayim u'va'aretz. Lecha Adonai hamamlacha, ve'amid naseh lechol rosh. Eilech hamda libi, chusana ve'elna titalem. Eilech hamda libi, chusana ve'elna titalem. Eilech hamda libi,
All right, at the beginning of the service, I asked if some of you had never been to a Jewish service before, so I'm assuming that also means you've never seen a Torah up close. So this is your opportunity. Come on up, everyone. If you've never seen a Torah up close, no matter what your faith, tradition, stage of life, I know who you are, you raised your hands. Come on up. Come on up. Don't be bashful. All right, well, thanks for being brave and coming on up here. It's always a pleasure for me to share with you a little bit about the Torah tradition because it makes it that much more meaningful when Mason reads from the Torah. So first of all, whether you realize it or not, I bet you everybody here has a Torah at home. If you have what Christians would call the Old Testament, you got a Torah, all right? But the Torah is really a subset of the Bible. We don't call it the Bible of the Old Testament. We simply call it the Tanakh, which is Hebrew for Bible. And the first 5 books, Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy, those 5 books, the 5 books of Moses, or the Pentateuch, they are exactly, literally what the Torah is. We believe since the time of Moses that the Torah was handed down by God to Moses, and he was actually the very first scribe. The Hebrew word for scribe is sofer, because every single Torah, from the very first one given to Moses to the one that our congregation had commissioned this past year, is written by a sofer, a scribe, written by hand. Now, usually, a sofer, a scribe, lives in a holy city like Jerusalem or Sfat. Ours lives in the holy city of Miami, Florida. But it so happens that this Torah was not actually written by our scribe in Miami. He now is like a scribe among scribes, and he commissioned another scribe in Israel to do the majority of the work. And then at the very end, the last few letters, we actually wrote right here at Congregation Ner Tamid, and the cantor and I had the joy of writing the very last letter in this particular Torah. Now, a Torah is written on parchment about this wide. The sofer will score it with a ruler, and then using a feather quill pen, he will literally write each letter by hand. And it's a painstaking process. It takes about a year, and there can't be any errors. You can't be thinking about soccer or hockey or whatever sport you love. You can only be focused on the mitzvah, the good deed of writing a Torah. Once the ink is dried, if he's made a mistake, they can take pumice stone and they can chip off the letter. But once it's completed, it's read out loud 3 times to make sure that it is accurate and there are no mistakes. Now you can see Hebrew is read from right to left, and this is pretty large and this is pretty small, which reminds you and me that pretty soon we're going to be entering into the brand new year of the Jewish people, Rosh Hashanah. And when that happens, this Torah will be read from start to finish, and then we have a ceremony where we rewind it and we will start all over. It reminds us that in our tradition, all of knowledge stems from the Torah, all of wisdom. This particular Torah portion that Mason will read from is from the book of Deuteronomy, Ki Tetzei, and has more mitzvahs, more good deeds than any other portion in the Torah. So I'm going to open it up, and I just want you to take a look. All right, Mila's holding the Eitz Chaim here, this handle. Look real close. This is called a yod or a pointer. The oils from our hand would ruin it over time. And this is what Mason is going to read from in order to become a bar mitzvah. Ki tetzei lemilchama, right here. And not only is every word read, it is put to music. So the entire Torah has a melody. And there are people in this universe who know the entire melody of this Torah. So as he completes this, it'll be wound for next week, and then that bar mitzvah will read from the Torah until we get to the very end. So do any of you have any questions at all before the test? None? You can't read? Okay. Any questions? No? Okay. Thank you. Make sure you take a really good look. Come on and look and you can see the Hebrew. Right there. Isn't that something? Thank you. Well, thank you for being brave and coming up to see the Torah. You know, it's interesting when we have a bar mitzvah, I like to point out, we often have many different faith traditions. If you happen to come from a Christian background, you'll recall that Jesus was Jewish. Now, he didn't have a bar mitzvah. The custom is only about 500 years old. But because he was a rabbi, a teacher, he would have had the skill to read and perhaps even chant from the Torah. The very same Torah tradition that we read from right now. As you saw the Ark curtains open, you'll see that we have many different Torahs. They're just Torahs that have been donated over the years. There's no symbolism between 5 or 6 or 7 Torahs. They've just been donated. And as I mentioned, this Torah was recently commissioned in memory of someone's adult child who passed away. But before he died, after he died, they wanted to make sure that we would remember him and tell his story. And it's a little bit more ornate because the parents were in the jewelry business. That's a true story. So that's why these are extra special and ornate. All right, Cantor, here we go.
Ya'amod, Joe Rosen, Rishon. The first Aliyah goes to Joe Rosen. Our Torah reader for all of the Aliyot will be Mason.
So Joe, come over here. Put your tallest right there.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach. Baruch Adonai Hamvarach Le'olam V'ed. Baruch Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam. Asher Bachar Banu Mikol Hamim V'natan Lanu Et Torato. Baruch Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen.
Ki tetzeli milchama al voivecha untano Adonai Elohecha biadecha v'shavita shivyo v'ra'ita bashivya eshet yifat tawar v'hashak tava v'lachak talacha lisha v'haveta el toch beitecha v'gilha et rosha Vyasta et zipornecha, vesira et simlat shivya mayalecha, vyashva bevetecha uvakta, erviha ve'ima yarech yamin, va'aharkein tavo elecha uvakta v'haita lecha lisha, v'haya Imlo hafatzta ba v'shalak tal nasha umachur lotim krena bakasef lotitzamer ba taha tasheranita.
Baruch Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam. Asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayim ota b'sochenu. Baruch Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Ya'amdu, Andrew and Anushka Dannin, Shani.
Baruch Hu et Adonai Barak.
Baruch Adonai Baruch Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Barak Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher b'karbanu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'torah.
Amen.
כי תהיינה לאיש שתי נשים, האחת אהובה והאחת שנואה, וילדו לו בנים, האהובה והשנואה, והיה הבן החור לשנייה, והיה ביום הנהילו את בניו, את אשר יהיה לו, לא יוכל לבקר את בן האהובה אל פני בן השנואה הבכור, כי את הבכור בן השנואה יכיר, לתת לו פי שניים בכל אשר ימצא לו, כי הוא ראשית עונו לו משפחה הבכורה, כי יגליש בין צורר ומורה איננו שומע בקול אביו ובקול אמו, ויסרו אותו ולא ישמח אליהם. ותפסו בו אביו ואמו והוציאו אותו אל זקני עירו ואל שאר מקומו.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet b'chayei olam atah b'tohenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'torah.
Amen. Thank you. Just go ahead and switch sides. Yamod, 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 David ben Avraham, Hamaftir, Azak, Azak, Azak. So we usually, most of our bar mitzvah will have already gotten their Hebrew name before their bar mitzvah, but we are honored to officially give you the name David after your grandfather. So today you are David ben Avraham.
Baruch Hu Adonai Hamvarach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bahar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'torah.
Amen.
Zachor et asher asa lecha Amalek baderech b'tzehem mitzrayim asher karha baderech v'yitzanev baha kol haneheshalim aharecha v'ata oyev yagea v'lo yirei Elohim v'haya behoniha Adonai elecha lecha mikol oiveha misaviv ba'ares asher Adonai elecha noten lecha nahala l'rishta timche et zecher Amalek mitachat hashamayim lo tishkach. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'hayeh olam nato b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Mazel tov. Good job. Good job.
Very
Let's see your mom and dad. Give them a hug. There you go. All right, for the honor of redressing the Torah, we call up Alex and Amanda. Please come forward. And when we return the Torah to the ark, Jeremy and Salmon, you'll come back up as well. With the congregation, please rise. You can stay here. I'm going to hand the Torah to you.
We'll be returning the Torah on page 374 in our Siddur. Vizot HaTorah asher sa Moshe, Vizot HaTorah, Vizot HaTorah asher sa Moshe, Vizot HaTorah, Lifnei b'nei Yisrael, Vizot HaTorah.
You get your speech ready.
Vizot HaTorah, Vizot HaTorah asher sa Moshe, Vizot HaTorah, Vizot HaTorah asher sa Moshe, Vizot HaTorah. It's Chaim le'machazikah, v'tomchecha be'ushar derachecha, darchei noam, v'chol tivatecha shalom. Ashivenu Adonai elecha v'nashova, Chodesh, Chodesh yameinu, Chodesh yameinu kekedem. Please be seated.
Good job.
Ready? Nice and slow. Okay. All right. Let's see what the last words are.
I'm going to talk about what my Torah portion means and what I found interesting about it. My Torah portion has the most mitzvahs out of any other Torah, one in Torah. Most of the mitzvahs in my Torah were about giving equal and fair treatment to animals and respecting animals' rights. This means an animal should get as much rest as us, and if an animal looks like it needs help, you should always help it. This is an example of giving equal treatment to animals, which is a big mitzvah in this Torah portion. Another example is that there's a bird's nest with baby chicks and eggs in it, and the mother bird is there. Shoo away the bird, and then take the chicks and eggs if you need to. You shoo away the mother bird because it can go on and have more baby chicks. In the Torah, it says if you do this, you will live a longer and happier life. This is a great example of not using up something too quickly than the world can replace. We do this less often than you probably think, like us overfishing, using too much water, overhunting, and more. This is what my Torah portion is all about and a critical message it tries to tell. There are lots of themes in my Torah portion that connect to all of our lives. One big one is not to take something all for yourself and being greedy. Always make sure that there isn't enough of something for everybody. This can be food, clothes, activity, love, and materials, and more. A big factor is this sharing what you have with people and giving things to organizations that help a certain cause in this world. My Mitzvah project is about donating clothes and other items to an organization called Marcy's Heart. This organization is a foster kinship place that helps foster kids and gives them free clothes and supplies. I chose this organization to give back to the community, like foster parents who spend lots of money and take time to take care of kids, by allowing them to not have to spend money on clothes and other items. Then the kids have all the things they need, while the foster parents can spend money on the other things that the kids and they need. After my bar mitzvah, I would like to continue going more in depth about my Judaism, having a better understanding of it. I will also become more active in Jewish holidays and try to have a better knowledge of what the holidays mean. I would like to say thank you to Rabbi Sanford Axelrad, Cantor Jessica Hutchings, and accompanist Eddie Birch for making my bar mitzvah possible and for my Jewish education. I'd like to thank my teachers for giving me a great education and for some great memories. I would like to thank my tutor, Adam, for guiding me through all the prayers and teaching me Hebrew. I would like to thank my parents for always being supportive, caring, and for raising me to have the amazing life I already have had. Lastly, I would like to thank family and friends because they are always so great to hang out with and for creating great experiences with me that I will never forget. Dear God, please guide us to be able to treat animals respectfully and help them. Please remind us to not use up too many valuable resources throughout life so we can help the world be a better place.
Mazel tov!
Sippin' tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, sippin' tov, mazel tov, mazel tov.
Thank you.
Sippin' tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, sippin' tov.
Trying to pick up the candy. All right, come on, kids. Come on up and pick up the candy. No double tosses. Keep the candy. Keep the candy.
Mazel tov.
If you're part of our sisterhood and you're giving the gift, Mensch Club board representative.
So we can do a blessing.
Oh, yeah.
That was
You do
good.
it after.
Wouldn't be a ner tamid bar mitzvah without the presentation of some gifts. So you drew straws. Who's going to go first, Danny? Eric? All right, here you go. Representing our Mensch Club.
Hello, Mason. Very well done today. It's obvious how much you practiced. I'm here on behalf of the Mensch Club to present you with the gift of a pen. Why a pen, you might ask? First of all, in an age where handwritten letters are almost obsolete, your friends and family will enjoy the feeling of receiving a personalized letter. Secondly, to me, the gift of this pen demonstrates a deep respect for your intellect and your creativity, and your friends at the Mensch Club think your words and ideas are important and worth listening to. Mazel tov.
Hi, my name is Jennifer Neiman. I'm Vice President of Ritual on the Sisterhood Board, and we have a beautiful Kiddush cup for you to use every Friday night and holidays. And I just must say that you did such a beautiful job. Outstanding. I don't think I've seen too many people do different portions, and that was just wonderful. And mazel tov, and to your family.
My speech isn't going to be as good as these. I'm with the board, and I am going to present you with the Tzedakah box. It's amazing inside. And basically, it's for you to put your charitable donations in that box and then donate it to perhaps your Mitzvah project, foster care facility. So, mazel tov.
All right, I get one last but not least. Mason, we are very proud of you. It is actually, once in a while, we get a student who comes to us a little bit later in the game and says, okay, I'm here, I'm ready to learn to become a bar mitzvah. And some may call that late, but I think it's just when it was supposed to be. So your journey was just a little bit different, and that makes it unique and special. And I'm very proud of all you've accomplished in a very short time. And as I told you in your last rehearsal, I hope this is just the beginning of your journey into Judaism, that you continue on with us to learn all the different things that there are to learn other than just the Hebrew and the Torah. And you'll find that it's going to be really meaningful for you. And part of that journey will hopefully be going to the state of Israel. So once upon a time, I was able to give this certificate, and I kind of did it in a way that was like, I don't know if I should give this because it's only $250, and it's never only been $250 to get to Israel. But this last year, the URJ, the Union for Reform Judaism, has gotten a very generous donor, and now this certificate is for $3,250, so that you can take a special journey to the state of Israel, hopefully, as part of a high school program that they have. So we hope that you take them up on that. And it has been my great honor to be your cantor so far, and I cannot wait to see where your journey takes you.
Thank you.
Don't do adoration.
Yeah, we're going to be blessed.
Yeah, but don't do adoration yet.
Okay.
I'd like to ask the congregation to please rise for a moment. Mason, come on over here. So Mason, we stand here before the open ark. It's a culminating moment. All the studies, the prayers, the sense of, can you do it, can you do it? And now you stand here. You look upon these Torahs, and now that you are bar mitzvah, the Torahs look at you as well. When you look at the Torahs, they should not just be something that's static. They're just kind of, it's inside an ark, and you never see them except when the ark curtains are open. They represent the values of our people. And as such, those values are supposed to enter into your heart and be embraced and reflected by your deeds. In a sense, that's why the Torahs look at you, and they feel a sense of pride. There's more than one Torah because there's more than one Jew. None of us are the same. None of us approach this sense of awe to God the same. None of us study the same way or learn the same way. And so as different as all these Torahs are, in a sense, they are the same. Because written upon each one of them are the same words that have been hearkening back since the time of Moses, but it is the responsibility of every generation of Jews and every single Jew to look at those words and make them come alive. Your Torah portion is one of the most significant in the entire Torah because it has, out of the 613 commandments, it has dozens and dozens of them placed right inside your Torah. From how to conduct, believe it or not, a moral war, to how to treat a stranger, to how to conduct fairness in commerce. But the last part, which is what you read, your maftir, was remember what Amalek did. Amalek. We wouldn't remember him unless we were told to forget him. And how does that happen? Forget about Amalek. He was a no-goodnik, but remember him. It's like a paradox that the rabbis tried to figure out. Why did the Torah say that? We shouldn't hold a sense of evil and animosity in our heart, even though in the history of the Jewish people, Amalek was a person who attacked us at our weakest point. And so we remember what he did, and we say, we shall not be like that. We shall be a people that is just. We shall be a people that cares not only about ourselves, about each other. We are people that seek a sense of justice for the world. And that is a pretty big responsibility. You know, I met a stranger, and I don't know how we got into this conversation about religion, because usually, you know, you don't go into that. What religion are you? I said, oh, Jewish. Those Jewish people, they're very good. And I didn't know where she was going to take it, but thankfully she took it in a good way. You are very good people. I said, oh, thank you. Because that's what I'd like to think, that each one of us represents her people. And as your parents said, you have a very good heart. And as your grandpa said, you respect your parents. But I suspect not only that mitzvah, but so many more are already written upon your heart and upon your deeds. So go forth, young man, to be a great man, a person of great respect who makes all of us proud. As the Torahs watch you, we watch you. And as you look upon this congregation, know that at this moment and throughout your life, there are people who care about you and are proud of you, simply because of the good man that you are today and the good man that you will be throughout your life. So now, as you bow your head, we ask God's grace upon you, as the cantor and I share these blessings that are over 3,000 years old. May Lord God bless you and keep you. May Lord God cause the light of his countenance to shine upon you, be gracious unto you. May Lord God grant you long life, happiness, and peace.
Amen.
Just basically.
We continue standing for our Aleinu prayer on page 586.
Mazel tov.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגור עלינו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא.
And you're just going to sit down and turn off your mic.
We turn to page 598.
One of the final prayers of our service is called the Kaddish. It's a doxology that praises God. And it's said at the end of the service at a time when we reflect upon those who have died, people who have impacted our lives. Perhaps they've died in the last few days or weeks, or whose anniversary, Yortzeit, is observed at this time. And so as I look out at this congregation, if there is someone special that you would like to remember, simply stand and say their name. As we think of these and so many others, we rise to recite our Kaddish prayer. Please stand.
Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divra chirute v'yamlich malchute, bechayecho nivyomecho nivchaye dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala ubizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mivarach le'olam u'lalmei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shemei dekudsha b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru, amen. Yehei shlama Rabbah min shemaya, V'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us, to all Israel, to all the world, to which we say, Amen. So instead of being seated, you are going to make your way. You can leave your sitarim in the back of your seats there and make your way into a big circle all the way around this bima. Okay, so we're going to go down the stairs, up the stairs, big, huge circle, and we're going to take part in a very special ceremony called Havdalah. So with this, I'm going to get the plate for you because otherwise it's going to drip all over the floor. Okay. Havdalah.
Okay, we're going to put the flame over there.
We will.
It's gonna-
No, I know.
Havdalah is not for the close of Shabbat alone. It is for all the days. Havdalah means separate yourself from the unholy, strive for holiness. Havdalah means separate yourself from fraud and exploitation. Be fair and honest with all people. Havdalah means separate yourself from indifference to the poor and the deprived, the sick and the aged. Work to ease their despair and their loneliness. Havdalah means separate yourself from hatred and violence. Promote peace among people and nations. May God give us understanding to reject the unholy, to choose the way of the holiness. May God, who separates the holy from the profane, inspire us to perform these acts of Havdalah.
Right there's the candle.
So let's go this way. And then you guys are going to come up here. Ya la ya la 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 ya la la ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la la ya la la ya la ya la 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 ya la la ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la la ya la la Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen borei peri hagafen ya la ya la 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 ya la la ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la la ya la la ya la ya la 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 ya la la ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la la ya la la Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam
Sweet spices of Shabbat.
Borei minei v'samim Borei minei v'samim Ya la 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 Ya la ya la 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 Ya la la ya la 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 Ya la 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 Ya la la ya la la Baruch hold it up Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei meorei ha'esh Ya la 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 la, ya la la, ya la la. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamavdil ben kodesh lechol hamavdil ben kodesh lechol yai lai lai lai. Go ahead and take the camera. Distinguish it quickly. Yeah, don't do that. Real quick. In the one. Go. Eliyahu Hanavi, Eliyahu Hatishbi, Eliyahu, Eliyahu, Eliyahu Hagiladi, Bimhera veyamenu, Yavo Eleinu, Imashiach ben David, Imashiach ben David. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. Shavua tov, 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 Shavua tov. A good week, a week of peace. May gladness reign and joy increase. A good week, a week of peace. May gladness reign and joy increase. Mazel tov.
We wish everyone a wonderful week. We know that in a few moments you will make your way to the venue, which means you'll go through those double doors, return your prayer books, if you will, and the family is going to greet you at the venue. So thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful evening, and Shavua Tov.